Hi, it's Lisa Honold with Parenting Digital Natives. I am here celebrating all things summer with my friend Claudette. We want to talk a little bit about parenting and summertime. How are you, Claudette?
Hi, Lisa. I'm very good, thank you. So I'm Claudette Chenevert, the Stepmom Coach, and I'm very excited to talk about summer and everything parenting and digital and stepkids. And oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. What happens when I talk to parents about summertime? At first, they're like, yay, summer! And then they go into this panic mode of, oh my gosh, that's a lot of free time. My kids, how am I going to keep my kids busy? Like there's this whole panic mode after the celebration for a moment. Oh, that's a lot of free time.
I know, and the thing is with step parents, right? They either have the kids all the time or the kids are gone for the summer and for big chunks of time. And so it's sort of difficult to know, like, how do I take care of our kids while they're away, and how do we set some healthy boundaries that we may have at home or they have elsewhere and continue those boundaries, especially if we're talking about summer activities. And summer activities sometimes lead to digital stuff like internet and video games and phones and all this stuff, right?
Two sets of rules, and now kids have been out for a couple of weeks. And how is all that going? What are you hearing from your parents?
So what I'm hearing from my parents is a question of, just how much do we let our stepkids use the phone to share information from one home to another, right? So one of the things I know parents want to make sure their kids are safe, especially when they're gone for 2-3 weeks at a time, which may not be typical of the schedule. And some parents miss their kids, and the first few weeks, first few days are like, oh yes, it's quiet, and then after a while they're missing them. And so just how much is okay or not okay to let your kids use the phone, and then once they start using their phone, like what is okay to share on your phone and how often. And so it snowballs. And so a lot of my stepmoms get worried that the phone and the internet gets overused, especially in the summertime, because of unstructured activities that kids
have. Yes. And going back, you mentioned a really big privacy issue. Going back to that, what do you tell parents as far as where the boundaries are for that family versus the other family that the kid is involved with? Where are the boundaries?
So one of the things about boundaries is that each home has their own set of boundaries, right? We can't tell another person how to set boundaries in their home because we wouldn't want people to set boundaries in our home. So as long as we have like respect for each other, privacy, meaning like what goes inside our rooms, what goes inside our bathrooms, and I'm being specific here because I've seen a lot of stuff. So yeah, videos of bathrooms and bedrooms and a lot of inappropriate stuff. So I think it's important to say these are places where we don't allow or share what's going on. And also to let our kids know that, we have different sets of rules in our homes, just like at school, right? They had sets of rules when they went to school. Each teacher had their sets of rules and boundaries within their classes. And so I think it's important for parents to understand that as long as the security and the safety of the kids are a top priority, there are some other things that we can let go and not worry so much about what goes on in the other home. So as long as everybody is on the same page when it comes to security and safety, and making sure no one's in danger. Some of the boundaries can be flexible when it comes to being what happens in another home.
Yes, I love the idea of a conversation with the kids the first time they come for the summer. These are the rooms that will not be videoed. These are the private, sacred spaces. It's such a good word to learn. That will not have phones in them. Maybe it's bedrooms. For sure, having any video go out that's inappropriate obviously is a big boundary. But having a conversation about what will happen this summer, what are the expectations for this house, and have those rules available that they can see, refer to them often during family meetings. It's not a one and done, it's all summer. These are the rules here. They may not be the rules the other place, but they're the rules here.
Yeah, and I think I like what you just shared, right? It's important to write them out because from one house to another, it's not always apparent what fits in this house, what fits in the other, and kids sometimes forget. I mean, as adults, we forget as well. Yeah. And so I think it's important for us to write it out and put it in a place where it's visible. Refrigerator door is my favorite place because at any time in the day, someone's going to go in that refrigerator.
That's right.
And make sure that they'll be able to read it and see it.
Yeah.
So refrigerator door is my favorite place to put it because it's central to the kitchen, to everybody. And the other thing is to discuss, as you said, to discuss it, to negotiate. Something may not be clear to the kids, right? They say, well, I want to talk to my mom. I haven't spoken to her in a few hours. Right? So how many times a day do we talk to our parents? So maybe set some times during the day saying, okay, after dinner or during lunchtime or after a meal, not during a meal, which would be preferable, not having phones or videos or screen time while you're eating together. So pick some times. And so those are some of the conversations I hear a lot is can I stay connected with my kids while they're away and to their other parent without feeling like I'm being cut off or avoided or kids are not responding to me. And that's another problem, right? Kids can pick and choose whether they talk with you or not with phones and texts and all these other gadgets.
Ideally, that would be a conversation for adults to have. Let's put some boundaries around how often we're going to talk, maybe set up a routine. Like you said, after dinner is call the other parent time, check in, do what you need to do. But having that routine is so critical. And that's one of the things that's lacking in the summer, right? Is the school routine, the after school routine. Kids are often running into all the fun stuff they want to do. And sometimes that means by default, they're picking up their phone not on purpose, but just because it's there and they feel bored, right? So the first way to stop that boredom is, I think I'm going to go look at my phone and see what's new. And what I'm asking parents to do is to set up routines that kids get to earn screen time instead of that being, I'm going to wake up and grab my screen. No, first you need to do the family chores and make sure that your teeth are brushed or whatever's important to your family, to have that set up in advance and say, this is a time to earn screen time. It's not a privilege when you wake up to have all day screens.
Yeah, I love your thing about earning screen time. And it's not something that is, it's a privilege. And I think people forget that whether it's your phone, your computer, your gaming, whatever it is, anything that has to do with electronics is a privilege. It's not something that's owed to you. It's not a right. It's a privilege. And so I love that you shared something regarding you earn it, and you earn those by, you know, doing the things you need to do at home. And especially in the summertime, which is so hard because kids don't need to get up at a certain time because there's no school, there's no homework, and oftentimes they don't see their friends at school. And so the only way they get to stay connected with other people is through the internet or the phone or whatever way they're staying connected nowadays.
Which makes them highly motivated to get their chores done, to do the things that I expect them to do, so that they can connect with their friends. And one of the most genius things that I've ever required in the summer is 15 minutes with a sibling. I have two kids that are polar opposites, and they forget during the school year that they like each other. Like they're constantly at each other's throats, and they forget the great things about that personality skill set. And one of my expectations in the summer is you need to spend 15 minutes with that sibling. And they end up laughing. They end up having such a good time, and they wouldn't have done that had I not said that's part of the requirement.
And I love that because it's true, right? When you're in school, you're not with your sibling.
Yes.
And this is, so you don't get to know that person if you're not spending time with this. And this is especially true when you're stepkids, when you're step siblings or half siblings.
Yes, right? Yes.
Because one is always at home while the other goes back and forth. And so in half siblings or step siblings, this often happens. And so there's a constant feeling of being strangers.
Absolutely. And perhaps jealousy and all of the things that are attached to that too. Yeah.
And so this is a great point, is by encouraging or having it a requirement that they spend 15 to 20 minutes together, and maybe help them, guide them in having some interaction, maybe suggest activities or conversations or something they do together. So to foster that sense of relationship, and even more so when you're stepkids.
Giant cat.
Even more so. Yes. Well, he just wants to say hi.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he made a point. Yes. Yeah. So the idea that they're strangers and annoyances are what they remember, we need to help shift that with activities and puzzles and things that they can do in 15-minute blocks that change the relationship to, oh, well, they're really good at that. Or we smiled together, we laughed together, we did something funny together. That's what we need to shift toward in the summer, is that relaxed feeling of, okay, I know this person a little bit and this is what I like.
And so one of the things that I've shared in forever when I talk about being stepfamilies, it's about shared experiences.
Shared experience.
The more shared experiences you have, you put this in your emotional bank account and earn credits. Or you have like a savings account of shared experiences, so that when something that withdraws from those positive moments, you have an accumulated of positive shared experiences. And so I love that you mentioned that 15 minutes a day. I think that is a great way to help people, especially step siblings, come together and reconnect from not getting together that much.
Yes,